The need for blood donations in our state is reaching an all-time high. Tonight, hear the story of a young boy from West Seattle who has a new lease on life thanks to donations. The Red Cross says there is a critical need for blood donations right now. And now's the perfect time to give, as this month is National Blood Donor Month. We'll share the story of a local boy who's now able to live a healthy life thanks to donors like you. ARC Seattle is back right after this. Welcome back to ARC Seattle. January is National Blood Donor Month. The Red Cross says the number of people donating blood dropped 40% over the last 2 decades, and sometimes it's patients who were caught right in the middle. Kelly Koopman spoke with Isaac Williams, an 8-year-old from West Seattle. He credits blood donation for saving his life.
Well, Isaac, thank you for talking with us today. Why don't we talk a little bit about some of your health story? What do you remember about it? We're deferring to Dad?
I'm deferring right back. So he was diagnosed with high-risk neuroblastoma, stage 4. That was when he was 17 months old. So I'll never forget, it was 2017 Easter, and he was laying on my mom's, my mom was holding him. He looked, you can see the color of his skin now. He looked like super, all the color was gone from his body. And this is after he had been in the hospital, like, let's say every week we took him to the hospital for fevers, maybe 7 weeks in a row. We ended up going back to the hospital to get blood work and listen to it was his right side. That's where your scar is, right? They were listening to his right side, but they couldn't hear anything. It turned out to be a tumor that was blocking the sound of his bowels from being able to hear them. So he had a tumor in his adrenal gland. And it was neuroblastoma that we found out that he had.
And no doubt you went through a pretty rigorous treatment, I would imagine?
Yeah, and it was pretty scary for me and my parents.
Right.
Yeah, there were moments where we were scared. It's, obviously in hindsight, I can say, thinking about what he went through, sure, it was scary. You being a mom, if it happened to you, you would handle it just the way we did. You do whatever it takes to get your kid through that moment. My job was very simple. I just wanted to keep him happy, smiling, and not thinking about, some of the drugs that were going through his lines to kill the cancer, because that stuff was not good. That was probably the only time where I was actually scared, was after his second stem cell transplant. Just looking at how he looked like that stereotypical kid in the ad, right? Mm-hmm. And he was, he looked like he could go, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the only moment when I was really scared. But then obviously it's funny, like I remember going back to get blood regularly, and those were the things that were like bringing life back into him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean it was tough, but we got through it.
What would you say to those people who donated that blood and made that blood available to, as you say, bring that life back to you?
I would say thank you, because I had a 50 and 50% chance of not making it alive.
As a recipient of blood, so I have seen the product go into him and literally bring him back or save his life. And if he didn't have that, who knows what would have happened. But it's like, don't wait until you have a situation in your life that shows you the value of doing that or giving in general. It's okay to give in advance.
And that's just a sample of one of the stories you can catch on ARC Seattle weekday mornings starting at 8 a.m. Our team is always working to keep you informed and, of course, entertained.